Hello and welcome. You're watching One News Bulletin in English at 5. I'm Yanni Moutsios. These are today's top stories. Turkey will no longer hold high-level talks with neighboring Greece, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said on Wednesday amid rising tensions between the traditional rivals. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz called on Turkey to exercise restraint towards Greece as tensions between the two countries have flared, a German government spokesperson said on Wednesday. The US President Joe Biden has confirmed he will send the more advanced, longer-range rocket systems to Kyiv. Face coverings will no longer be mandatory as of today, indoors or outdoors, with the exception of spaces where there is a crowd. Turkey will no longer hold high-level talks with neighboring Greece, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said on Wednesday amid rising tensions between the traditional rivals. Ankara resumed negotiations with Athens last year following a 5-year break to address differences over a range of issues such as fossil fuel exploration in the Eastern Mediterranean and territorial waters claims in the Aegean Sea. We broke off our high-level strategic council meetings with Greece, Erdogan told a meeting of his party's lawmakers in Ankara, adding, "Don't you learn any lessons from history? Don't try to dance with Turkey." Though the talks had made little progress, remained a means for the two countries to express their concerns without resorting to a potential armed standoff, as had occurred as recently as 2 years ago. Erdogan's pivot on the talks appeared to have been triggered last week when he signalled his displeasure at comments made by Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis in his address to the United States Congress. Erdogan said Mitsotakis no longer exists for him after accusing the Greek leader of trying to block Turkey's acquisition of F-16 fighter planes. Erdogan also commented on Turkey's objection to Sweden and Finland joining NATO. Ankara has complained the Nordic states harbor terrorist suspects and arm a group in Syria it accuses of being an extension of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, or PKK, that has waged a 38-year insurgency inside Turkey. Stay with us. The Greek Foreign Affairs Ministry hails the Exclusive Economic Zone Accord signed between Croatia and Italy in the Adriatic Sea on the basis of international law. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz called on Turkey to exercise restraints towards Greece as tensions between the two countries have flared, a German government spokesperson said on Wednesday. The Chancellor is of the opinion that given the current situation, it is necessary for all NATO allies to stand together and refrain from provocations among themselves, the spokesperson said in a press briefing in Berlin. Invading Greek airspace and flying over Greek islands is not okay. It seems counterproductive and against the spirit of the alliance, the spokesperson said. Germany is committed to resolving the open questions between Greece and Turkey in private dialogue and on the basis of international law, the spokesperson stressed. German government spokesperson also noted that we cannot accept the questioning of the sovereignty of member states of the European Union. More to come. The US President Joe Biden has confirmed he will send the more advanced, longer-range rocket systems to Kyiv. The Greek Foreign Affairs Ministry hailed on Tuesday the Exclusive Economic Zone Accord signed between Croatia and Italy in the Adriatic Sea on the basis of international law and the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Greek Foreign Affairs Ministry urged all regional countries to comply with UNCLOS, which is part of the customary international law. The Croatia-Italy Accord is yet another example of how the Exclusive Economic Zone issues should be resolved in the Mediterranean region and a general statement reads. Greece follows this practice faithfully as it has already signed 2 such accords with Italy and Egypt, whereas it has agreed to take the Greece-Albania Exclusive Economic Zone bilaterally to the International Court in Hague on the basis of the Law of the Sea. Now, the United States President Joe Biden has confirmed he will send the more advanced, longer-range rocket systems to Kyiv, a critical weapon that Ukrainian leaders have been asking for as they struggle to stall Russian progress in the Donbas region. The medium-range, high-mobility artillery rocket systems are part of a new $700 million tranche of security assistance from the United States. Russia has said that the US decision to supply advanced rocket systems and munitions to Ukraine was extremely negative and would increase the risk of a direct confrontation. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov said that Moscow viewed US military aid to Ukraine extremely negatively. Attempts to present the decision as containing an element of self-restraint are useless, Ryabkov said. The fact that the United States, at the head of a group of states, is engaged in a purposeful pumping of weapons into the Kyiv regime is an obvious thing. Stay with us. Ukraine is working on an international UN-led operation with naval partners to ensure a safe trade route for food exports, according to Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba. Germany will supply Ukraine with the Iris-T air defense system, the Chancellor Olaf Scholz said following pleas from Kiev and German opposition parties to step up heavy weapons deliveries. Switzerland's government has vetoed Denmark's request to send Swiss-made armored personnel carriers to Ukraine. Denmark votes today in a referendum asking the nation whether it wants to end its decade-long opt-out from common European Union defense policies. Denmark's Foreign Minister Jeppe Kofod has said he will ask Parliament tomorrow for Denmark's support of the accession of Sweden and Finland to NATO. More to come. Face coverings will no longer be mandatory as of today, indoors or outdoors, with the exception of spaces where there is a crowd. Ukraine is working on an international United Nations-led operation with naval partners to ensure a safe trade route for food exports, according to Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba, who emphasized that Russia was playing Hunger Games with the world by blocking Ukrainian food exports. Pope Francis appealed to authorities to lift the block on wheat exports from Ukraine, saying the grain cannot be used as a weapon of war. Face coverings will no longer be mandatory as of today, indoors or outdoors, with the exception of crowded spaces. Face masks use will be reviewed in September 2022, depending on the pandemic data available at the time. Withdrawal of face coverings is not permanent, Health Minister says in a statement, whereas they are used by vulnerable groups, it is highly recommended. Passengers on board airplanes and inside the airport facilities will no longer be required to wear a face covering. Though most of the airliners have withdrawn the mandatory use of face masks, it is recommended for passengers to check airliners' policies prior to their departure. Also, passengers traveling by coach or by train with a numbered seat will not be required to use a face covering. Office employees will be able to remove the face mask as of June 1st, whereas customers in shopping malls or retail shops will be free to enter without a face covering. Health Experts Committee is expected to reach a decision on the use of face coverings on boat and cruise ships today. Students and teachers, though it is highly recommended to wear a mask, they will not be required to do so, except for the duration of the Pan-Hellenic exams. On city buses, trams and trolleys, as well as the tube, face coverings remain mandatory. Social Insurance Joint Body EFCA and the Independent Authority for Public Income will send a warning to more than 25,000 debtors between June 3rd and 6th for pending insurance contributions exceeding €150,000. Debtors will be urged to pay their debt within 15 days period, or their tax number and their contact details will go public. The updated list of debtors dating back to 2017 will be publicly made available on the Independent Authority for Public Income website. Prior to the publication of their tax and contact details, debtors will receive a notification between June 3rd and 6th, whereas they will have time window till June 21st to make arrangements with EFCA. That's all from us for now. Stay with us. Next news bulletin in Greek at 6 o'clock. Thank you for watching.